Welcome, dear viewer. I'm your host, Carmila. We are now entering the spookiest month of them all. To keep the spirits alive, I gift you my offering. Now, turn off your lights, relax, and enjoy. I've been working as a bartender since I was 18, and I've seen a lot of characters come through in the past 3 years. I even had to throw one out earlier this evening. A macho type who mistook sexual harassment for flirting. But in all my time, I've never seen someone like the man in white. He came in just before closing, dressed to the nines in an impeccable white suit. I was the only one manning the bar. Rita, my closing partner, was taking glasses to the kitchen. We'd already done last call, and we're just waiting to lock the doors. I tried not to glare at the man as he took a seat at the empty bar. "Excuse me?" I said, then stopped, because I recognized this man. We'd never met, but my father had warned me about him, and the knowing look on this stranger's face quashed any doubt. "Jonathan," he said in a voice like smoke. "Be a good man and pour me a whiskey, will you? Jack Daniels will do just fine." "Sure." I made his drink on autopilot, my father's warning repeating in my head. The devil wears white. The devil wears white. The devil wears white. Just then, Rita poked her head out of the kitchen. "You okay, John?" She looked from me to our customer, who showed her a wink. "Fine," I said, forcing a smile. "Actually, I've got it from here. You can go home." Her brow furrowed. "You sure?" "I'm sure." I don't think she believed me, but something convinced her to leave. Maybe the awkward atmosphere. Maybe some Jedi trick from our mysterious customer. Maybe she just saw the wink and decided she'd dealt with enough of that bullshit today. I can't blame her. I set the man's drink in front of him and leaned on the bar. He tipped the glass at me and took a sip, relishing the taste. "So," I said, my mouth dry. Fear was rippling down my spine, but I figured it was better to get in front of this thing. "Is it my time then? Have you come for me?" "What? No, he said, scoffing. "No, you've got a long life ahead of you. I just wanted to drop in, see how you're doing, buy a fast drink, since you've come of age." I relaxed a little. There was something really familiar about him. Not comfortable, but not otherworldly. "You think I work in a place like this and haven't snuck a drink?" "I know you haven't." His eyes burned into me like a brand. "I haven't had one since." He toed the line. Always stick to the straight and narrow, even when it bites you in the ass. "You're a good kid." Hearing those words from his lips made my heart sink. "But it's not going to save me." "Oh no." He grinned and sipped his whiskey. "The deal's been made. and no going back on that. It's not fair, a refrain that haunted my life, but I knew better than to say it out loud. Instead, I poured myself a glass of our finest whiskey and came around the other side of the bar. The man in white grinned as I sat, one stool between us. "Attaboy," he said, raising his glass. I raised mine, then took a drink. The whiskey burned all the way down and I coughed, setting my glass unsteadily on the bar. The man in white laughed, then raucous sound booming in the empty bar. When his laughter faded, we sat in silence, imbibing without so much as a glance at each other. Finally, glass empty, the man in white stood. He reached into his inner jacket pocket and produced a wad of cash, holding it between two fingers so I could see. I counted $500 bills. "For a job well done," he said, laying the cash on the bar. Then he turned to go, adjusting his jacket as he went. Just as he reached the door, my voice rang out, "Wait!" He paused, hand on the glass, but didn't turn around. I could see the edge of his face in the reflection, burning eye on me. I swallowed, but forced myself to continue. "Is there anything I can do? Anything?" His expression was the last thing I expected to see. Pity. "Sorry, son," he said, shrugging. "It's already over and done with. I'll see you again sometime." And then he was gone. I finished my drink. Then I set about locking up. What else was there to do? Nothing had changed, really. I was still damned. With a sigh, I emptied the bar's garbage and luggage to back out of the dumpster in the alley. After my mom died, my dad sat me down and told me a story. He and my mom had trouble conceiving, and after years of doctors and treatments, they're about to give up. My dad was in a seedy bar, getting wasted after yet more bad news from the doc, when a man in white sat next to him. Said he heard I was having some trouble. My dad told me. His eyes were distant and the hand holding the cat of Bud shook. Said he could fix it if I wanted. But, he said, and his eyes got really shiny, like he was looking at $1 million. He's only yours as long as his heart's beating. When it's all over, he's mine. Of course, I thought he was making a sick joke and I told him so. I didn't believe it until he showed me Mom's suicide note. I guess knowing what she'd done to the son she'd wanted so badly was more than she could bear. I've tried to live my life right. I go to church every Sunday. I pray every morning and night, like old Scratch said. I follow every rule to the letter, even when it gets me in trouble. I've begged God to save me, been baptized and born again, but the man upstairs isn't as straightforward as his counterpart. And I guess even he respects legal contracts. I opened the dumpster's lid and chucked the bag in, feeling empty. So much for Christ dying on the cross. I wonder if he knew he'd been had when they nailed him up there. "Hey, asshole!" I turned around slowly to find a man standing at the end of the alley. It took me a moment to recognize him. the jackass who'd been bothering Rita earlier. "Can I help you?" I asked. "You ruined my fucking night!" He stormed towards me, cracking his knuckles. I watched calmly. "And now, you're gonna apologize." God, today's shit wasn't just gonna end. "Fuck you," I said as he loomed over me. "Little bitch!" He screamed and swung a clenched fist at my face. I'm not sure what happened. Something in me just snapped. The next thing I knew, I was wailing on him, pummeling him with a fury that had smoldered for years, just waiting for enough oxygen to flare. He didn't stand a chance. By the end, blood splattered the ground, my clothes, my face. I lifted my foot from his crushed cool, breathing heavily. I expected to feel afraid. I expected to feel guilty. Instead, I feel euphoric. I look at my blood-stained hands and began to laugh. I understood it now. My parents hadn't given me a curse, but a gift. I dragged the body into the kitchen, where I have all the tools I needed to dispose of it. A few hours later, and I was in new chains of clothes I kept stashed in my duffel. You wouldn't believe how many drinks of cotton spilled on me, all washed up and on my way home. I was practically whistling. For the first time since my mom's death, I felt truly free. No more rules, no more begging God for forgiveness, no more wasting time trying to be pure and selfless and humble. See, I've realized something. If I'm going to hell no matter what, I might as well enjoy the ride. I just wanted to give my thanks to for letting me use their story to narrate, and I'll see you all tomorrow.